have it in you to make it epic.
Hello everyone, welcome to another movie review. I just got done seeing Furiosa, a Mad Max Saga. Before I talk about the movie, I'm going to do a quick little review for Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, which I saw 2 weeks ago. So if you want to skip ahead, I'll put a timestamp on the screen just to get to my Furiosa review. I totally missed reviewing Planet of the Apes, so I'm going to do that right now very quickly. But like I said, if you don't want to listen to my little review for that movie, just skip ahead to the Furiosa review. Okay, so Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. I saw the film 2 weeks ago on Friday, on release day. I was actually out of town when I saw the movie. So, me personally, when I make movie reviews, there's two sort of things that kind of delay reviews. There's two factors that could happen. A, if I'm seeing the movie with people, and B, if I'm out of town, like I said, on vacation or whatever. And in this case, I was with people when I saw the film and I was out of town. So those factors kind of made me not want to do a review because YouTube is not my job. Okay, people, it's not it's not how I make money. It's not my career. So I need to live my life normally. You know what I mean? I'm not going to stop things for other people so I can do a movie review, anyways, I'm not going to dwell on that too much. So, yeah, that's why I didn't review the movie, if you're wondering. But I do need to talk about it because I thought it was a very good movie. It was a very, very great continuation of the first three films, which is a, very difficult task because the last three films were fantastic. Andy Serkis should have won an Oscar for especially the third movie. I thought he was fantastic in that one. This was directed by Wes Ball, who did the Maze Runner movies. Which I think he's a perfect candidate for this because those were post-apocalyptic, films, and that's what this is. Also 20th Century Fox Productions, obviously, so I guess he sort of carried over from that. He did a great job capturing the same feel of the last three movies, and I gotta say, the only real nitpick with the movie is it's not really like the movie's fault. But the villain, Proxima Caesar, played by Kevin Durand, was incredible. Like, seriously, he was the best thing about the movie, in my opinion. I genuinely want to see a movie just about him. Like, I want to see his origin story or something, you know what I mean? We needed more of this guy in the movie. That's my biggest complaint. Yeah, it's not even like a negative, really. It's literally like, okay, I want more. He was in the movie enough. But trust me, I'm sure everyone agrees with me, he needed to be in the film a little more. Yeah, I don't know. I just really want more of that character. I thought he was fantastic. At the end of the day, though, I think Koba is still the GOAT, when it comes to the villains. So, that's never going to be topped. But this guy was definitely a good, second place, in terms of the villains in the series. The new character, Noah, was great. I'm really invested in him, and this is going to be the beginning of, apparently, I heard this series is going to go for 9 movies, which is kind of crazy. So, I don't know. This is going to be the start of a new trilogy. I don't know if they're going to do another trilogy after that, that's separate. So, I don't know how it's going to work, but I'm totally invested. There's a lot of good world building in this film, especially at the end. And I'm not going to spoil anything. The movie's been out for 2 weeks, but just in case people haven't seen it, whatever. Definitely go see it. My rating is a 9 out of 10. Again, I was kind of joking when I said the villain thing. My real issue with the movie was kind of the pacing, actually. Some of the pacing was a little bit off. The movie wasn't boring or anything like that. I was totally riveted the entire time. But some of the pacing felt weird. There's one scene in particular with... I don't want to spoil anything, but it involves William H. Macy. He's in the film. He plays a human character. It's a scene involving him, and it felt kind of weird pacing-wise. It's not the first scene he's in. It's actually the last scene he's in. I'll just say that. Something felt weird with that. It didn't... I don't know. It felt kind of messy. I don't know. And, yeah, I don't know. It is part one of a trilogy, It's not a complete movie, I guess. It is, but it isn't. You know what I mean? So, it's a very good starting point, though. I really enjoyed all the characters, and... what's the guy's name? The orangutan character. He was great. He was funny. I loved his character. Probably my second favorite character in the movie, aside from Proxima Caesar. I mean, Noah's great too. Don't get me wrong. The main ape, he is great, but this guy was a standout. Man, what was his name? Again, I watched the movie 2 weeks ago. I'm sorry. I pretty much just said, okay, when I review my next film that comes out, which is Mad Max, I'm just going to review Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes in that video, so that's what I'm doing now. But the orangutan character, you know what I'm talking about. He's great. And then the human characters too. Nova, she was, or slash May is her real name actually. She was great too. I really enjoyed her. Again, excellent movie all around. Just not quite a home run, you know. As far as like the other previous 3 films go, I'd probably put it on the same level as like Rise of the Planet of the Apes. If you guys don't know, my ranking would be like War for the Planet of the Apes being the best one. I think that's a masterpiece. And then Dawn of the Planet of the Apes being the second best. And then I probably put Rise and this one kind of like neck and neck, you know, for like third place. I've never personally like loved Rise of the Planet of the Apes. Like I know a lot of people love that film. It's great, but I've never really like, I don't know. The other 2, Dawn and War, were done by Matt Reeves, and I think he just knocked it out of the park with both of those back to back. I just feel like those 2 are on another level than Rise. But Rise is still very good, so I'd probably, like I said, I'd say this is just as good as Rise. So definitely check it out if you haven't. You know, I hope it does well at the box office and they keep making more. The special effects, I gotta mention, of course, absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. Yeah. So that goes without saying. But anyways, let me know what you thought of Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes in the comments. Now I'm going to move on to the review for Furiosa. Alright guys, so Furiosa, a Mad Max Saga, is the prequel to Mad Max Fury Road, which was the 4th movie technically in the Mad Max franchise by George Miller. Now, I've never seen the original 3 movies. I know the second one in particular is supposed to be like one of the best action movies ever made, The Road Warrior. And then the third one was Beyond Thunderdome. I've seen parts of the first movie, which was just called Mad Max, but I've never seen the whole thing. I do own it on Blu-ray, actually, just never got around to watching it. But I remember when Fury Road had come out, it was such a spectacle because it took George Miller years and years and years of prepping and planning and everything to get this movie made. And it was a technical masterpiece. And if you guys recall, at the Oscars that year, I remember like it kept winning like every technical award, and even like I remember Louis C.K. came out to present one of the Oscars, and he made a joke like, "Oh, Mad Max, like, like who's gonna win the award that he was presenting?" It kept winning so many awards, and deservedly so, because, like I said, technical masterpiece. That movie was so well done, and Furiosa, the character, was very intriguing. Charlize Theron, obviously, excellent actress. And there was talks for a long time that there's going to be a movie based on Furiosa, and I was all game for it. Like, I was totally like, okay, I would love more of this style of Mad Max, because it is a reboot, technically, because Tom Hardy played Mad Max, and originally it was Mel Gibson, so this is a totally different sort of deal. From what I understand, I don't know if these are all canon with each other, like the original trilogy and these 2. Now, I gotta say, guys, this movie was fucking awesome. Like, seriously. I saw it in IMAX, which is funny, IMAX. They should have did some sort of tie-in with Mad Max and IMAX. I'm sure trying to film this with IMAX cameras would have been super difficult. I don't believe it was. Normally it would say filmed with IMAX cameras on the posters and stuff like that. That would have been, I mean, it looked great in IMAX, don't get me wrong, but like if they would have filmed it in IMAX, oh my god, I can't even imagine. But that would have been like impossible probably. So definitely see this film in IMAX, guys, I'm telling you. So anyways, Anya Taylor-Joy takes over the role, playing the younger Furiosa, and there's actually another actress at the beginning of the film playing like an even younger version of her, and I want to give a shout out to her. She was great. There's one scene in particular where she needs to get like physical and kind of like do some, I don't want to call it parkour, but she has to like move around like a certain obstacle that's in her way, a hanging obstacle, I guess, and I don't think that was a stunt person. I think that was the actress, from what I could tell. fantastic performance from that young girl. I don't know her name. But yeah, Anya Taylor-Joy, great in every movie I've ever seen her in. She's seriously like one of the best actors working today. She always picks great roles. I don't know who her agent is. I've always thought about this because every time I'd see her pop up in a certain movie or even The Queen's Gambit on Netflix, the TV show, I'm like, this woman is always doing these great roles. Who is her agent? Like, seriously. Even like the New Mutants, even though most people don't like that movie, I think it's just okay. I still think, like, okay, that's another great role. Like, she was great as that character, and that is a popular franchise. At the time, it was still the Fox X-Men series, separate from the MCU. But it was still like, man, this woman is always landing these great roles. And this is no exception. Like, she is great as Furiosa in this. Like, seriously. She is very, silent in the movie, very... It's more like... actions speak louder than words kind of character, like the strong silent type, to quote Tony Soprano. Fantastic performance in this. And Chris Hemsworth, my God, this guy, like, I know he's a great actor. Like, I know most people associate him with Thor and being like the funny guy or whatever. He is actually a very good actor. And you could see it in some of the, even in some of the Marvel movies. Like, he has some gravitas. And this guy is a despicable villain, I'm telling you. Like, he was really good in this. Seriously. And the movie is broken up in 5 chapters. And I think that really helps because the movie is 2.5 hours. I personally thought it flowed fine. Like, there was no pacing problems. But I could definitely, like, feel, okay, this is a long movie. You know what I mean? Not making a complaint or anything, but most people going into this movie be like, okay, 2.5 hours of fucking cars chasing each other, because the last movie was only 2 hours, so this one's longer. But if you look at it like, okay, there's 5 chapters. If you kind of watch it like, okay, each chapter is probably like 30 minutes each, because 5 times 30 is 2.5 hours. It'll make the movie feel quicker. That's what I was doing in my head. I wasn't timing it, but I feel like if you look at it like that, it'll help. I don't know if each chapter was 30 minutes. I feel like chapter 4 was, like, really long. Like, chapter 4 in particular felt super long compared to the other chapters. But it helps if you look at it like that. Kind of like how the Snyder Cut had chapters, you know what I mean? And that was 4 hours, so, so, yeah. But, guys, I really don't know if this is better than the last one. Like, on a technical level, it's obviously, like, the same quality. If not even better, because, obviously... George Miller's had the experience over the years, and doing the last movie probably amped his skill level to another level. So, in a way, maybe this movie is technically better in terms of the action and cinematography and all that stuff. There's a lot of great one-takes in this, or long shots, I should say. Very long one-takes that were very well done. The first... all the action sequences were good, but the first chase sequence in particular, which takes place in Chapter 3, was really good. Like, it went on for a while. That was probably my favorite action part of the movie. Yeah, guys, I really don't know if this is better than the last one. This one, obviously, is more of a solo movie. There is a big cast, obviously. You do get a lot of people from the last movie in this one, playing the younger versions of the characters, Morton Joe and whatnot. I know they had to replace the actor for him because he passed away, but you can't tell anyways because the guy wears a mask. So, but everybody was good in this movie, like, seriously. And I'm not gonna do a spoiler section, but there is a blink and you'll miss it cameo in the movie. Some people in my audience, I think they noticed it because I notice people like, if you watch the movie, hopefully you see it. Yeah, so the movie was excellent, like, seriously. I I can't wait to own this, you know what I mean? Top-notch action. I really don't have any complaints with the movie. Like, I really don't. Yeah. I don't. It was super easy to follow, and it was just a great origin story, like, seriously. And it perfectly ties in to the next movie, you know what I mean? The only thing that kind of, like, I don't know. I feel like Anya Taylor-Joy doesn't really look like Charlize Theron a lot. You know what I mean? And for what I can tell, there's only supposed to be like a 5-year difference. Because there's one point in the movie she mentions it's been 15 years since a certain event at the beginning of the movie. And I know Mad Max Fury Road takes place like 20 years or so after she left her home or something like that. Because I remember I rewatched it actually earlier today before I saw this one. And she mentions it's been 7,000 days or something like that. And I did the math. That's actually like 19, 20 years. So if this movie's supposed to be 15 years after she left her home as Anya Taylor-Joy, she's supposed to look like Charlize Theron in 5 years, which I don't think that, again, that's just a nitpick. But again, this movie, I don't know if it's movie of the year. Dune, another movie involving a lot of sand and desert, is still movie of the year right now for me on my list on Letterboxd. But I don't know. This is really, I have to sit down and think about it. Like, these two movies are neck and neck. That's all I can say. They're neck and neck. But just check out my Letterboxd, I guess, later. You'll see how I ranked them. So, yeah, guys, 10 out of 10 movie. I feel like I say that a lot, but, I go to see quality, I go to see quality, and I go to see Madam Web as well. So, yeah. I really don't have much else to say. Excellent film, deserves a round of applause. I saw it early. They had a 3:30 showing in IMAX, which, it would make more sense to see it later in the day because you get a bigger audience. It's more fun that way, But I like to see movies as early as possible, so I saw it early today. And again, I loved it. Smash it, home run. 10 out of 10. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. How would you rank all 5 Mad Max movies? I need to watch the first 3. And please answer my question. Like, are these movies all tied together? I'd like to know. I don't think they are, though. Yeah. So anyways, thank you guys for watching, and have a good one. Bye-bye.